has IBM reached 100% back to office 100% of the time? Or, what are the challenges you face, as a larger organization with larger vested interest and with a lot more people with varied backgrounds? So, what is that you faced, especially in coming back to office?
Yeah. So for us, pre-COVID, we were working 5 days from office, all days from office, and especially in our teams, it was a social contract that we are an agile team building software, releasing it to our end users every week. And to be able to do that, we needed to work face to face closely as one team, right? But COVID changed all of that, right? We were made 100% remote, as he said, Ajay said, not by choice but by circumstances, right? And then we realized that, hey, if you have certain things in place as a team, right? Trust, transparency, as I said, understanding of our roles, the team setup, which we intentionally made very cross-functional, right? For example, whatever the team needs to build software and release it, all the skills were within the team. So that really helped us work quite efficiently, even in 100% remote setup. And then as kind of COVID challenge reduced and we started looking at, okay, now let's explore opportunities to come back. It also took us almost couple of years to decide on what works best for us. But IBM has realized that a hybrid is the way to go forward. And we will likely never, I mean, not as an IBM employee, I'm speaking personally, I feel that we will likely never go back to 100% working from office in many of these IT organizations or tech organizations, and it's likely going to be a hybrid setup, whether it's 2 days a week or 3 days a week. It will likely be something like that in many organizations. For us now, it is 2 days a week, and the way we managed to make it happen is that when we realized that, okay, now we probably are starting something new as a product development, or we have some new initiative that is starting. For such initiatives, we realize that it is important for people to work face to face, collaboratively in person, to avoid some of the challenges or extra communication that is required in remote setup. So we started by bringing a small team back to office voluntarily. And again, it was the same experience where some people wanted to come back. They were really bored with working 100% remote for 2 years or so and were keen to come back. So we started with those team members. We also understood that many of the team members had moved to their hometowns, right, during COVID. And some were reluctant to come back or had some personal challenges because of COVID. So we took it step by step. First started with people who were ready to come back, looked at what kind of experience they had in coming back, kept it completely voluntary as to number of days they wanted to come to office. Gradually, then we requested teams to form their own social contract on the days they want to be in office, the days, the kind of activities they want to perform in person at office, rather than just saying, okay, hey, you have to be in office. So think about what do we want to plan for next iteration. And doing some retrospective about how things are going, agreeing on ways of working while we are at office versus we are remote, right? If some of the team members are remote, what kind of social contract they have. So all this has taken us a year to kind of settle down after we started returning to office. And now we see more or less 100% of our team adhering to the social contract they themselves have created, which is we'll work 2 days at office, all of us. And for other 3 days, the way of working we had while we were 100% remote continues. And those same values, trust, transparency, ensuring that we communicate a little more when we are remote, ensuring that everybody is on the same page as far as how things are progressing. People are available when there is need to support, even if they are remote. All of this has helped us establish this way of working, which is going quite well. So when we are in office, we focus on, okay, what are some of the things or the activities that we must perform in person, like planning, solution design, discussion around some of the challenges we are facing, getting feedback, reviews, retrospectives, and then everybody kind of goes back to their respective remote setups and continues work. And we meet every week, so that way, if something needs to change, that also gets discussed and we continue. So it's working. It has taken time, but it's working quite well now.
So you've adopted more of a voluntary approach than kind of a top down, thrust it down their throat kind of an approach.
Yeah, it started like that. We have thankfully in our team, people kind of understood why we were trying to do this. Some of the I wouldn't say that all of it was completely 100% voluntary. Like, so initially it started with, okay, let's get people voluntarily, and then we also push teams to form that social contract. Now, we had cases where some of the team members were not willing to adhere to that social contract that the teams had agreed on. So in such cases, the managers had to kind of jump in and say, hey, couple of members, take them aside, talk to them, and say, hey, you as a team agreed to this. Now, what are the challenges in adhering to it, right? So maybe one odd cases we had to make it mandatory for those individuals who are not kind of aligning to what the team had agreed on. But largely, I agree, or I would say yes, we were like lucky, I would say, that our teams were keen to come back and continue in that hybrid mode.